I asked for withdrawal on October 30th at Payoneer, and whereas Payoneer claims that withdrawals reach bank accounts within 2 to 5 days, it took me over a month to receive my money. And I had to complain to the BBB in order to get my money. That's the only entity that really helped me out with that issue. Today's day, I am still convinced that Payoneer are fraudsters, and I would like to warn people to be careful and not to hesitate a second. If Payoneer doesn't pay you within 5 days, go to the Better Business Bureau and file a complaint, because that's the only way you will get paid. I'm a Canadian writer and a web worker, and I have been receiving payments in my bank account very easily from many companies in United States, in Australia, in Canada. I've been receiving my money with no problem, except from Payoneer. One of my clients decided to use that third party to pay our invoices, and on October 30th, I asked for a withdrawal for that money that my client has given me. And Payoneer claims that all the transfers are made within 2 to 5 business days. And it took about 34 days before I got my money. So it was very long and very painful. And I had to go through all kind of websites. I gave them bad reviews. I called the FTC. I wrote to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. That didn't do nothing. The only thing that worked for me was the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, and that's the only thing that made them realize that a client is a client, and that when a client pays for something, they have to give it. But for over a month, they kept my money for absolutely no reason. Before that, that client was paying the freelancers directly in their bank account. So I never had any problem. That client was paying me really all the time in a very good way, right on time, the right amount, and everything. No fees, no nothing. And going through Payoneer it was the first time, and I wish it would be the last time, but it's just impossible. So now every month I will have to go through Payoneer to get my invoice paid. And I still, to this day, I don't know if it's going to work in the future, because the way Payoneer paid me this time, it was in a special way. They said because there were problems. They said it was a problem with my bank. So I called my bank. I'm doing business with my bank since 1978. My grandmother opened me an account there when I was 8 years old, and I never had any kind of problem with them. So when I called them and I asked them if it was them the problem, they said, it's impossible that we're the problem, because we are the recipient bank. We are supposed to, if Payoneer or Citibank, because Payoneer is using Citibank to do the deposits, if either one of the companies would have tried to make a deposit in my account, if the money would have bounced or if it would have been refused for some reason, they would have been able to see it, but they did not see that. So Payoneer or Citibank never tried to deposit a penny in my bank account. So what it tells me is that these people may be fraudsters. I don't know them. When you go on the internet, you see very good reviews if you type Payoneer reviews. But if you type Payoneer problems or Payoneer fraud or Payoneer whatever, you see so many people having the same problems. So from my point of view, what I think is that Payoneer is paying people to write good reviews, because that client that I like to work for, we are many freelancers, and we have a platform that we can discuss together, and the majority had problems with Payoneer since my client decided to pay us via Payoneer. So I figure if we are 50 or 100 people from the same company having problems, then we're not alone. It's impossible. I really, honestly, and deeply think that Payoneer are high-class fraudsters. Maybe they're not, but I can only talk about my point of view. I mean, I'm paying them 2% of the money I make for nothing. Not only they don't give me service, but they don't even give me the product. They don't give me what's mine. They're holding what's mine. So I can only see fraudsters, a fraud. When you pay for something and you don't receive it, you're not a client anymore, you're a victim. So that's the way I see it. And I really, I appreciate what the BBB has done for me, and they helped me to get my money. But as Payoneer still says today, they paid me in a special way because they still don't know if they're going to be able to deposit my money in my bank account when I do my next withdrawals. So I don't feel secure at all with them. I just don't have the choice to deal with them if I want to continue dealing with that client. Of course, the first thing was that they would hear me and give me back my money because it was mine. I mean, I didn't order something that I was going to pay and I'm waiting for no, it was my money. The only thing that they have to do, a money transfer takes about 5 to 10 clicks today. I pay them good money, 2% of my income to do that, to do 5 clicks, 10 clicks if I'm generous, 10 clicks to take money from one side and put it on the other side. Not only they cannot do that, they proved me that they cannot do that, at least not with it takes them 1 month and over. But they don't do it by themselves like PayPal does. When I receive money from PayPal, it's written from PayPal. Them, no, they have to use Citibank, and now because they made a test. They made a test to find out how money can reach my account. And on that test, there was another percentage missing. So now, so I asked why, and they said, okay, Citibank will need a 5th party to be able to deposit in my account if they ever can do that, because they didn't prove it to me yet. So now I have this image of 5 persons, you know, like changing a light bulb. One changing the light bulb and 4 other person turning the ladder. So it's like a fool's house. It's a circus. And it's not funny because it's my money. So no, the first thing was to get my money, but also to be heard and to warn other people. And I think it's so unfair that these guys have such good reviews after I know that so many people are disappointed by that company. So I think it's unfair that they are able to take my money, invest it in websites that pay people to give good reviews. I'm sure that's what they do, because it's impossible to treat people like that, to treat so many people in a bad way and get such good reviews. That is impossible. So that was my superhero intention of the day: get what I want, but also let other people know that they have to be careful with that company, because they're nasty, they're evil. It's very easy. Just give me my money. Every month I receive money from my client, and I ask for a transfer, and it's supposed to be in my bank account within 2 to 5 days. That's all I want. And ideally, try to avoid doing that with all kind of other people that take piece of my cake a little bit everywhere. So when I have my money, I have nothing left. Try to do that. Stick with your 2%. 2%. Give me my money and take 2% on it. It's okay. But to make it a money transfer, you don't need 3 other people. You don't need just take my money, give it to me, take your 2%, and I'll be happy with that.